Howdy folks, Mikey McKernan here, aka Boo-Ha Man, aka Is Not Funny. Welcome to another stand-up adventure vlogs. Thank you for being here. Tonight, even though it's today, it's bright sunshine. Tonight, I'm performing in North Hollywood, California at Bare Knuckles Comedy at the Brews Bros Craft Beer, Brews Bros Brewing, Brews Bros Beer Craft. I forget the name every time. I've taken you there before. One of the first year vlogs, my roommate Johnny, I think I was doing a podcast. You can go back and watch that video. But you're like, Mikey, what is there to see in North Hollywood? Well, I'm mostly gonna focus on one strip of North Hollywood that is Lankershim Boulevard. Now, Lankershim is very historical, also very historical to the Boo-Ha Man, me. When I first started coming out to Los Angeles, I would take the 210 freeway, because that's where I lived off of, in Rancho Cucamonga. And if you take the 210 west, it eventually turns into the 134 west. And so if I ever wanted to get to LA, if I ever want to get to Hollywood, I would always get off at Lankershim Boulevard and then take Lankershim down to Cahuenga, and it turns into right there, right at Capo de Cahuenga and Universal. You can jump on the 101 and then boom, Hollywood. That's always been my route when I needed to get to LA, was 210 to the 134, get off of Lankershim, or you get off at Cahuenga. Cahuenga is the one exit right before Lankershim. I have to shout out my friend Patrick, because in high school he was the one that showed me that one, and I forget who showed him that one too, because that's just how it was. You're like, yo, dude, we don't have to take the 10 into the 101 into like downtown into the heart of LA. We got the Valleyway. On Lankershim, they have 15 stanchions of history of North Hollywood, Lankershim, all sorts of jazz that's all around there. And I've always seen them and I'm like, oh, that's cool, that's cool. Well, it's called the Angels Walk Noho, and we are gonna do the Angels Walk Noho. We're gonna just mostly hit all the stanchions. They even have a bigger map with all sorts of different buildings that takes you even farther areas of North Hollywood, but we're walking, and it's hot. I'm already sweating, so let's get into Angels Walk Noho in North Hollywood. Let's boogie. All right, first out of the gates, first station, fail. It's the North Hollywood Metro Station. Pretty sure that one has been removed. Unfortunately, not the greatest of characters hanging around there, so I imagine that one was probably vandalized and destroyed. I asked one of the security guards if they've ever seen something like that, and they're like, nope, we don't. I've been here, haven't seen it. Oh well, luckily there's a website that has all of them on there. The stanchion. John M. Bonner in the 1880s came out here and he bought a bunch of farmland. Southern Pacific Railroad bought up some land in 1895 and opened up the train station. It's kind of funny because it has no information about the North Hollywood Metro Station. There's a first stanchion already out of the gates. See, this is what it's supposed to look like. I'm like, yes, information. I want to learn. Here it is, all that right there. Shout out. Stanchion number 2, Harry Chandler. Now he came out to LA and then he started working in the newspaper. Look at right there, that's Chandler and Lankershim back in the day. Isn't that funny? That's where I'm at now, Chandler and Lankershim. That's crazy. He was a civic booster who promoted movies, aviation, and the creation of the Coliseum, the Hollywood sign, the Biltmore and Ambassador hotels, and the Douglas Aircraft and Caltech. Look at that, Lankershim and Chandler Boulevards. That's this right here. That's where I'm standing, right here. In 1905, he purchased 16,000 acres in San Fernando, and it would bring water from the Ojai Valleys to Los Angeles based on the movie Chinatown. There's so much of that history I got to learn. In 1927, some of the 47,000 acres that Chandler and the syndicate had purchased became North Hollywood. Chandler Boulevard was named for him in 1926, the year before North Hollywood acquired its name. Stanchion number 2, Harry Chandler. I'm not gonna freaking spout all of it, but I'll do my best. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, stanchion number 2, Isaac Lankershim. Yep, there he is. German and Jewish immigrant, came out here in 1869, and he bought 60,000 acres from Pico Pico, the last governor in Alta California. Isaac Newton Van Nuys, they joined companies and created the Los Angeles Farm and Milling Company. It ran and was considered to be the largest wheat farming empire in the world. Soon the Lankershim Van Nuys partnership had a rival, Charles Foreman. He bought a rich piece of the Lankershim ranch, wanted to brand it his own, and called it Toluca. Foreman and Lankershim butted heads. Foreman got the federal government to name his post office Toluca, but Lankershim persuaded Southern Pacific to put his name on the train station across the street. Ranchers joked that they would ship the merchandise to Lankershim, but bill it to Toluca. But Lankershim won. 1896, the post office was renamed Lankershim. It was named during the school district. This is a cool station, but this one, look at this. This is right here is kind of in the way when you're walking up onto it, but more information to learn. Stanchion number 4, Weddington family. Wilson C. Weddington, he came here in 1890 and he left a huge imprint on North Hollywood. Brought his wife, bought acres, all that stuff. 1893, President Grover Cleveland appointed him to be the job of postmaster, and he did it for 22 years. And when he bought a general store in 1894, he moved the post office there. That's the general store. And then when the red car trolley last arrived in the valley in 1911, he helped drive the Sacramento Golden Spike into the rail lines. Nice. Also became, what was this, a lawman? And then the town needed a bank, and so he opened the Bank of Lankershim in 1910. And then when North Hollywood in 1927 got its name, it turned into the Security Pacific Bank, which that building still stands, which is right here. Yep, the Federal. Still standing. Unfortunately, Federal Bar has closed again, but this building is still here. Is there any plaques? No plaques. I'm loving this. This is history everywhere. The side of Federal Building. The burglar alarm, and they still got the night deposit box. Is this open? No. Ton of cute street art. That's pretty fun. That's a work of art. Mansion number 5, El Portal Theater. Hollywood comes north. The El Portal was built in 1925 and opened in October 1926, right here. See that? That's the Weddington House, which is the Federal Building, which was a Security Pacific building. And then right there is where the El Portal was built. It's a Spanish Renaissance Revival building celebrated by the theater architect Louis A. Smith. And now it's a mix of eras. The El Portal was, of course, a little damaged in the 1994 Northridge earthquake, but the luxurious carpet was taken from the Schubert Theater in Century City, which was home to 20th Century Fox. The bas-relief artwork in the lobby dates from the 1930s. It is the handiwork of the WPA artists and illustrates moments in California history from the gold rush to the citrus harvest. I've still never been in there. I want to go so bad. And they had the screening of the Beatles movie in 1964, and people had a protest out here. Cool, cool, cool. It's a 95-seat Forum Theater. Then there was a North Hollywood local child who started in a play out here with Debbie Reynolds, who is, I don't know, Princess Leia's mother. Star Wars, look at this. Star Wars. You like that Star Wars reference? Yeah, see, look at this. One day we'll get to go in there. We'll see. See, it's so funny because look at it. That's Fritz Coleman. They always do comedy tapings here. And there's a theater next to it. It's got this cool little art display in here. Bills are good. And then look at all this right here. Smile, you're on camera. I'm smiling. You're on camera too as well. There's a lot of cool things to see on Lankershim Boulevard. Want to make sure I capture enough. A lot of cool murals like this guy right here. Stanchion number 6, Lankershim Laconic. What is the Lankershim Laconic? Well, the Lankershim Laconic went to press in 1909. The 4-page newspaper called it itself a tri-weekly because the publishers, businessmen brothers Chauncey and Cecil Wilcox, tried to get it out once a week. Their influence was enormous. Like, it filled boosterism, Chamber of Commons happenings, and church news. And in 1911, advertised boasted that Lankershim had no saloons and no mud. And then, of course, at the bottom of Lankershim was Universal. March 14, 1915, film pioneer Carl Laemmle. He opened up Universal, which is ironic because now there's a, I don't know if you can see that, but that building right there is a Laemmle Theaters in North Hollywood, which is pretty cool because there's not many Laemmles anymore. In 1925, the Laconic became the Lankershim Press. 1936, he became the North Hollywood Press, and then joined with Valley Times. And it all started right here, where the pit fire is, right at this corner, right here. Even though the building and all this stuff, architecture has changed. But what's really funny is that in 52, they moved, Dental's music place opened up. 10 years later, Robert Coogan, this guy right here, he was the brother of star Jackie Coogan. He had a hobby shop here. Him and comedian Lenny Bruce in October of 1926 were arrested for possession of heroin. That is history, comedy history too as well. Lenny Bruce getting arrested in North Hollywood. This is why we do these things. See, it says it right there, Lenny Bruce. I love this. I'm thrilled. My hair's in my face. This is where the gig's gonna be. There's the name. This is why I had a tough time saying it. Brews Brothers Craft Beer and Artesian Eats. It's the faded sign for the comedy show tonight. I love it. I love it. I'm doing my Angels Walk, and we had to pass by the Brews Brothers. We're performing here tonight, can't we? Mikey, have you watched The Office? Not really. Stanchion number 7, Fred Hartsuk. He was a photographer in the Midwest, but he came out here and bought farm, and they had all sorts of dairy cows with names like Bessie, Snowball, and Tilly. Then he took some famous photos of some people like silent film stars Mary Pickford, Henry Ford, aviator Charles Lindbergh, and Presidents Woodrow Wilson and Herbert Hoover. Of course, the dairy farm was pretty successful. His wife was Miss Liberty beauty pageant in 1915. That's her right there. That's pretty cool. He decided to open up the Hartsford Inn in Northern California, but unfortunately it burned down. He had some hard stuff. There was a disease that killed all his farm. The inn burned down, and then he died of a heart attack in 1953. And so that's why they got this right here, Hartsuk Street, named after him, right next to the gig. Funny, that was the first one I ever read because I did so many mics at the Brews Brother, and I'm like, I have to one of these days do a vlog and document all of these stanchions. And the Fred Hartsuk one was the original one. That was the start of the inspiration because that was the closest one I can walk to. I'm pretty sure I've never read any other ones. Stanchion number 8, Nudie Cohen. Oh, we know that name. We learned about Nudie Cohen at the Valley Relics History Museum, and this has got all the tales. He was from Ukraine. He ended up in a fabled costume for rhinestone cowboys, from Roy Rogers, Porter Wagon, to pop cultures like Elvis Presley and Elton John. In the 30s, he had a shop with his wife in New York selling G-strings to the burlesque, but burlesque went bust, so he came out here, California, North Hollywood, and opened up Nudie's Tailoring on Victory and Vineland. Oh my gosh, he was a character. Look at this guy with his custom-out Pontiac. Wow. 47, that's when he moved his store. And he got all his publicity by donning all sorts of movie stars like Robert Redford in 1979, The Electric Horseman. And then he made Elvis Presley's $10,000 gold suit. You remember that one right there. Oh, yeah, that's our boy Nudie Cohen. But he died in 1984 or 81. His wife ran the store till 94, and she died in 2006 of 92. Nudie was there because he parked his Nudie mobile in the front of the store near a huge plastic palomino. That's hilarious. That plastic palomino is now in the Country Music Hall of Fame in Nashville. I like that. Bright Light City's gonna set my soul. I grew up an Elvis baby, okay? Thank my mother for that. And I had no idea about Nudie Cohen, North Hollywood, Valley history. It's all connecting. When they can connect, I love it. Stanchion number 9, Avery Schreiber. A comedic actor, inspires laughs and a theater. He was part of the Chicago's The Second City. And he met his friend Linda Fulton, and they opened up a theater, and she named it after him. That's about it. So much information about all the different theaters that are right here. Unfortunately, the theater closed. Look at that stash. A mush-up helps makes a career one day, man. I don't know if you recognize him, but he was in Robin Hood Men in Tights. Look at that, Tim on Chico and the Man. He also at one time in 72 the Burns and Schreiber Comedy Hour. And all that's really left is now is the Sherry Theater. This was the original right here. This is where it started. That used to be the theater right there, but it turned into a restaurant. But now all we have left is the Sherry Theater. All right, stanchion number 10 is MIA, missing in action. I cannot find it. It's all about the Academy of Television Arts and Science. That's right, the Emmys. This is Emmy right here. And it was called Emmy because that's what the cameras were called back in the day. And this is right here in North Hollywood. This building was moved here in 1991. Folks, statues galore. There's statues everywhere. The legend, Johnny Carson. That's amazing. Can't even look at all these busts, statues. That's Bob Newhart, James Gardner, Oprah Winfrey, Sid Caesar, Dick Van Dyke. Oh, you got Tim Conway, Barbara Walters, I'm walking into a tree, Merv Griffin, Peter Jennings, Milton Berle. Milton Berle's hilarious. This is one of the best statues I've ever seen. It's got his suit. Look at, even with his foot up. Look at, you know you're a true comedian. You got your quirks like this. Look at the hand like that. On the chin, even like slouched a little. Oh my gosh. This is probably one of the best statues I've ever seen. Yeah, they created a Hall of Fame in 1984, and it's all over here. Dick Clark, Walt Disney. I am losing it with how many statues. Look at the Hall of Fame garden. Mary Tyler Moore, Bob Hope, Carl Reiner. So much funny right there. Carol Burnett, look at this. Carol Burnett. Oh, Ron Howard, Ted Turner, Jack Benny. Look at these statues. Joan Rivers, one of the funniest women ever. I love Lucy. These statues, these are beautiful. These are beautiful statues, especially dealing with like the steps. Oh man. There's more busts over here. Carol O'Connor and Gene Stapleton. History, folks. The Academy of Television Arts and Science Hall of Fame Plaza. Nice. So we didn't get a stanchion on that one, but we got a ton of statues. That was cool, but they're like, you're just filming for yourself, right? I'm like, yep, no commercialing. On to the next one. Let's get out of here before we get busted. Stanchion number 11. More vandalism. Lankershim Elementary School. Mary Crawford opened her temporary classroom in a bunkhouse on Vineland. A year later, two-story schoolhouse was opened on Lankershim. 6 years later, that first graduating class got it. Then in 1933, it was demolished to make room for a new school. Adults got in a schoolyard fight here. That's interesting, I guess. 1924, it was moved to over here on the corner, 1933, Embankment Avenue, where all these trees are. Norma Jean Baker, she went there. She went to 6th grade here. Who's that? That was Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, look at, there it is. Woohoo! Lankershim Elementary School. Booyah, booyah. It's all right there. But we don't want to film because that's not cool. Stanchion number 12, Amelia Earhart. Lady Lindy. She has so much North Hollywood history. This is where she started all her flying. Bought her first airplane in 1921 at the Grand Central Air Terminal in Glendale. She made the first solo transcontinental flight by a woman in 1932, and in 1935 she made the first solo flight by anyone from Hawaii to the mainland. Then she bought a house in Toluca Lake with her husband, who proposed 6 times. She did lectures, she was writing, I had no idea, and I love this quote. Please know that I am quite aware of the hazards. I wanted to do it because I wanted to do it. Women must try to do things as men have tried. When they fail, their failure must be a challenge to others. And of course, she disappeared in 1937 on her flight around the world. At the Lockhart Airport in Burbank, she tested it and did not work. She came back, that's kind of an omen. Yeah, in 1937, they built a statue of her, and then they had to redo it in 1954 because the street got wider. That was over off of Vineland and Camarillo. And then 1971, they moved it over here on the corner. But the original one is at the Bob Hurt Airport. Look at this statue gets destroyed so much. Look at, there's a plaque missing over here. You can tell like that one's all bent because this is a very popular intersection right next to the North Hollywood Park. Cars probably hit it all the time. Yeah. She's also named after the North Hollywood Library. This is my local library, but it's closed. It's been closed for a while. I think they're having roof problems. You can see that they're doing some construction, but don't worry. They will be back one day, and I will be returning books here. I like this library. It's tiny. It's cool. Oh, the book drop will be closed until April 2024. It's April 2024 right now, so hopefully soon. Stanchion number 13, North Hollywood Park. 1890, a pair of brothers, Alfred and Harry Prince, came out west from Ohio and bought themselves nearly 70 acres to plant an orchard, what is now Magnolia Boulevard and Tonga Avenue. But in 1927, the year the area became North Hollywood, voters approved the park bond measure and the Prince family joined the Weddington family to sell more than 90 acres for the park. It acquired its own library in 1929 and it was named for a literary figure, Sidney Lanier, a Southern poet and Civil War veteran. By the 1980s, though, they changed the name to Amelia Earhart Branch. Never will be missed. 2 lines of his poetry immortalized right above the fireplace. And it's kind of funny because it says, it's an epitaph for Amelia Earhart. I am but a small winged bird, but I will conquer the world. North Hollywood Park. Look at this park sign. Oh, that's good. I like that. That's not like the one that we usually see. Every time you go to a park in LA, you see they're all the same. I wish they had merch sold like that. I would like a park sticker, or maybe like one design with my own Mikey McKernan is not funny. That would be cool. If anybody knows how to do graphic design, you know the Los Angeles Park Rec sign, not this one, but the other one, and you make a Mikey McKernan is not funny. Oh my Lord, I would be ever grateful. Stanchion number 14, fire station number 60. It's funny because it's right next to the North Hollywood station. That's pretty cool. They're close to each other. It's about the fire station right there. In the 1880s, they used to over by the train station over here, they just have a cart. But then 50 years later, 1923, they built a fire station. And in 94, it was moved over here on Tahunga and Chandler. On January 28, 1981, there was a fire right here at Coogie's restaurant. And they lost Thomas G. Taylor, who's 34. He fell into the fire. And it turns out that restaurant, the Coogie restaurant, was an arson. The owners wanted to get insurance, and they hired a barber. Looks like $2,500. It's vandalized. Come on, stop vandalizing the art, you guys. We can't learn this information, but it's online. You can check. And he went to prison for 25 years. And then there's a plaque right there, Lankershim and Whittington over the Wells Fargo Bank, because I believe that's where the restaurant was originally at. Fire station. Number 60. Let's go look at that Thomas G. Taylor plaque. In memory of Thomas G. Taylor, who gave his life on January 28, 1981 while protecting the citizens he served. R.I.P. Had to come back and get the plaque. Thomas Taylor lost his life here while bravely battling a structure fire on January 28, 1981. He is greatly missed by his family, fellow fighters, and his community. That is nice. I don't know how long. This has got to be brand new. I've never seen this. Nice. No date, guys? There's no date? So dope. Stanchion number 15 and the final one. Lankershim Train Depot. Oh no, this one is being destroyed. Looked like somebody tried to break this. I feel bad. It's like the more I was getting to these, the more that they're getting damaged and vandalized. Like, look at this one is... This one's in rough shape. Come on, guys. We gotta take care of our history. Oh, look at it right there. Be-dee-dee-dee-doo. 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 Yep, it all started right here. This train station was built in 1895. The little courtyard, I think they have this design like it is right over there because they redid all this whole area over here. I mean, we'll go explore a little bit of that right there. Of course, they'll talk about the red car in 1911 and then Phil's Diner. Opened in 1928 and they removed it. I think it's got a different name now. It's a red car, made its last stop here in 1952 and the locals called it a streetcar name expired. Yes. I've never been here. I've been wanting to come here because it's a coffee shop now. But look at, yep, they got the park like it hell used to be. Boom, there you go. Angels Walk Noho. I learned a lot. I hope you did too as well. I'm very hyped because there was stuff I didn't know about. Out of the 15, 2 are missing. That's 1 in 10. Of course, they might be somewhere else. Do the Angels Walk Noho in North Hollywood. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. Just don't do it on an 80-degree day like I did. Sweaty guy. Ooh, I didn't put any sunscreen on. Now I'm gonna go in here, get a nice tea, and then I'm gonna go home and probably shower and recuperate before the gig tonight. So I'll see you there. Okay, I couldn't help myself. I had to film a little bit in here. Look at this place. It's so dope. This is an old train depot. I love coming to these spots. And then look at this little counter. And then this is the patio. Noise, had to do that. Just had to show you that. Sorry, couldn't help myself. Look it. The underground has spoken. All right, we have made it to the gig. Brews Brothers, fit check. Got my Yoda shirt on from the hundreds. I got some sun too as well. Yeah. There are bodies in this brewery right now. This place is happening. We don't know if they're gonna go upstairs and watch. We shall see. Look at, there's one of the stanchions right there. That's how close we are to this gig. I forget how much time I'm doing. I know there's 5-minute sets for the open mic, but as a book spot, I don't know if I get more. There's people everywhere. They're gonna be in the background of my videos. Look at people everywhere, and I get self-conscious when this happens, but we have to get over it. Should be fun. I don't know when I'm going up. I have no idea what to expect. I don't know if anybody will go upstairs. It's very warm in there right now. It's going to be even more warm upstairs. See, we're up here in that room. That's why it's fun to stand out here and smoke, and you can hear them calling your name. Before that, we're going to go talk to the host, Andrew Fahey. He's the guy who runs this spot. We'll get his set and see how he feels about it all. Do you really want to stand here by the trash can?
My people.
What's up, buddy?
Not much, dude. Great to see you. Great to be part of the show.
How do you feel about it tonight?
It's gonna be fun. We had a bunch of people reserve tickets ahead of time. The mic list is looking strong. I got a really cool cast of regulars here that swing by. Awesome features as I try to curate every week. Bar's popping too, so I'm always happy to bring business to Brews Brothers.
I'm so excited how many bodies are in here. We'll see how many people go up there though.
So first things first, love the vlog, big fan.
Thank you.
Comment, subscribe if you haven't already. If it wasn't for your vlog, which I've been following since the beginning, or at least since I stumbled upon it during the pandemic, I would have never found out about Salinas, California, my hometown in Salinas, that there's a flourishing comedy scene going on over there. I wouldn't have met Mike Booth. Shout out Mike Booth.
Shout out Michael Booth.
And I wouldn't have got to do a spot in my hometown. A bunch of my family came out, so thank you for that.
You're
Appreciate
welcome.
you, dude. As soon as you were filming there, I was just like, what the? He's outside of that movie theater that I freaking hung. Yeah, so I was really excited. I appreciate you for that.
Absolutely, dude. Last time I was here doing the vlog, it was for another night of comedy, but I literally had Michael Booth on the vlog because I did a podcast with him earlier that day.
Oh, that's right.
So for you to bring that up while we're back to the old Brews Bros.
It all comes full circle, dude.
It's called timing, my
Absolutely.
friend.
You've just been a repeating character in my comedy career, actually.
I'm very grateful for any recognition I can get.
You taught me a valuable lesson about like open mic and comedy show etiquette as a comedian watching other comedians. It was around 2017 when I was first getting back into it. I went to Flappers, and at the time their bar was a little narrow.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hard to find seating. The only seats that were available was like right in the front next to the stage. And I was still kind of green, so I didn't know that that's kind of a tough look. It's why the seats were available. So I sat right in the front there. They drew your name. You went up there. You're so goofy and you're so fun and so clever. And I was in awe of it. I had a great time. For like 3 weeks in a row, I came back and you kept coming back. You were doing your thing. And then maybe like the fourth time you were doing your set, I don't know if you riffed something or if something a little different happened. I laughed harder than I know that I laugh. And dude, you came right to the edge of the stage and you looked at me. You're like, I finally got you. I got you, dude. You stone-faced. You haven't laughed at a single thing. And I'm just like paralyzed. I'm like, no, Mike, I love you, man, please. And you're like, you haven't laughed once. Anyway, follow your nightmares. Bye. And you ran off stage. And I was just like, no, because I loved you so much at that point. And so that's when I realized, I was like, okay, because I have a tendency to have kind of like a stoic kind of RBF situation going. And so I was like, okay, either make the conscious choice to cheer up or don't sit in the front. I appreciate you for that as well, and I'm sorry. Do you remember that by any chance?
I do not remember that, unfortunately.
There's
been too many open mics.
I underestimated how much stress I was causing you because you literally were like, I finally got like.
But you've never told me that story.
No, I've never had a chance to.
You never told me that story.
I know,
you saved it for the vlog?
Yeah.
Oh, you are hilarious, dude. Thank you, man.
Thank you, buddy. Absolutely. I love you, man.
All right, now to your set tonight. That's what this is really all about.
Baby.
But
we're working out.
Oh my gosh.
Bare knuckles, baby. Every Thursday we're here.
That was beautiful. We're keeping all that in.
Oh, hell yeah, man. That makes me glad to hear.
How do you feel about it tonight, even though there's no bodies in the room yet?
Oh, it's going to be fun. Such is the nature of the game. Everyone's going to show up at 7:35, 7:40. They're all going to be tapping me on the shoulder like, hey, is it cool if I leave after it? But that's the nature of the business we're pursuing. It's always awesome. I love it. It's going to be back at home base. We were at a different location last week, but it's going to be killer, and I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to you, and I'm looking forward to you all subscribing to Mikey McKernan here.
Thank you. Drew, the animals love Drew. Thanks, man.
Thank you, my friend, absolutely.
Let's have fun. Look at the bar from up here. I had to talk over the music, though. There's the host right there getting ready. Here's the room. We'll see whoever more bodies will show.
My name is Andrew Fahey. I look like one of those guys that hosts an open mic in the attic of a brewery. That's kind of my whole vibe I put out there. I get it. It's Aries season right now. It feels like every woman I try to date is an Aries. Because Aries, no way they're going on a date with me anytime soon. What are you doing, eh? I'm trying to tighten things up a little bit. I have a wedding to get ready 4 or 5 months ago. That was fun. You were there.
I was there.
That's true. I joined Planet Fitness in the recent past. Definitely regret that. That didn't go well. Like, there's the stereotype that all the people are living in their cars in their parking lot. The people at Planet Fitness corporate grossly underestimated how powerful these unhoused would become when they started living at the gym. I'm like, can't you kick them out? And they're like, squatters' rights, buddy. Okay, let him be squatter. I've decided I don't do Disney films anymore. I'm not a fan, you know. Decided I am a DreamWorks loyalist. All right, they make great movies. Those guys at DreamWorks. You guys like DreamWorks?
Yep.
Pictures by any chance? Not only are their films impeccable, between Kung Fu Panda and Shrek, they've done more for getting fat guys laid than any other enterprise that's ever existed. All right.
Oh, hey, how you doing? I wasn't
there
trying
he
to interrupt.
Where you headed?
To get some pizza from the pizza press down the street.
All right, if you need a ride home, let me know.
Hell yeah, I appreciate that, man. Look at this Tesla, driving like a Tesla.
Don't get run over.
Oh, I know that guy. He would be driving like that. What's up, man?
Darren, you're famous.
Take it easy, guy.
Andrew, how'd you feel about your set, man?
That was fun. Fun turnout. Tried some newer stuff. That went okay. Listen, excuses. But it was a little stuffy because the sun was out today, and that room gets to be like a sauna sometimes. So in the beginning, sometimes it's hard to remind
sweat
people.
up there.
It's hard to remind people, hey, we're at a comedy show, we can laugh. But they're all just like, are you sure? Because I need to change my shirt. Solid lines that I got to work on. This is a proper workout space. It's the whole theme with the bear with the knuckles wrapped up.
I love that.
But it was fun. I thought it was fun. It was a productive set. Got some good laughs. Got some good not laughs. It's all new information that we can use to get better and tighter and stronger.
Look at this
But
guy.
it was
This
good.
is an open mic host. What? So positive, so inspiring, dude.
We're all
Thank
here,
you
dude.
so much, man.
It was a pleasure, and I really enjoyed your set, man. You were really funny, man.
I hated it, but thank you.
Oh, well, you know, we're all our own harshest critic.
I should be more
after all.
prepared. But
Yeah.
please, plug whatever you got.
You can follow me on Instagram at Drew J. Fahey, Bare Knuckles Comedy on Instagram. Me and my good buddy Jake Bassey and Sean Sawicki are co-producing a heavy metal themed comedy show called Hell Bent for Laughter. That's going to be a lot of fun at Universal Bar and Grill, May 2nd, 2024. You might watch this afterwards, but we got Dean Del Rey headlining, which is a good get in my opinion, and it's going to be a hell of a time. Check us out. I think that's all I have to plug, so thank you so much.
Dude,
for
thank
being
you,
here.
man.
And thank you all for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Awesome vlog on YouTube right now. Please be loud for my good friend, the hilarious Mr. Mikey McKernan! Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. 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 Is that show enough gratuity? All right, let's speak incorrectly. Immediately! Hey, one more time for all the mental illness we see tonight. Clap for all your comedians. My civilian friends are like, hey, why do comedians always brag about being mentally ill? And I tell them, think about all the horrible things that are going on in the world. And comedians are like, hey, do you think this is funny? My name is Mikey McKernan. I'm 38 years old, and I'm still afraid of confrontations. So afraid of confrontations, I don't like to go to the airport. Because you always have to meet a rival. I got a friend, he's trying out this new diet, he's drinking his own pee. We went on for an hour trying to tell me all the health benefits. He's like, dude, the longer you store it, the better it is for you. He's like, do you think I'm crazy? And I told him the truth. No, you're insane. Thank you, I like play on words. Especially if they have a slide. Don't step on the cord, you're gonna slip. The other day, in a stroke of inspiration, I had a heart attack. I don't think I should joke about that. Anybody else afraid of karma? Anybody else feel like you should be like, yo, I'm trying to do good things in this world because of karma, but then you realize you're just like, wow, I'm still afraid of superstitions. I'm up here by myself. I should have wrote this down in my journal. I grew up in sunny South Carolina. Sunny? I gotta stop putting these syllables together if I can't pronounce them. I'm so glad I get the ball from the internet tonight. Every time I have a bad set, somebody comes up to me, they're always like, dude, don't worry, man, you're cool in my book. They always seem like they're not a reader. I did work at a grocery grocery store. You learn a lot of things. Like I learned that there's over 400 different type of berries. And not one of them you can check a book out at. Now it's a lot funny if you write it down and read it. But I gotta be honest, I'm a big wuss. Like I don't like horror movies. I'm really scared. I was tortured as a little kid. I was youngest of 7. I've never stayed in a haunted house. But I should though, because judging from my set, I could definitely use a ghostwriter. All right, just got off stage. That was terrible. Terrible set. Every time I come to this spot, I have a tough time because I'm like, there's music going on. We all know that. We all deal with it. But when my set doesn't go very well, and was I prepared for a set to do tonight? Probably not. No, I wasn't. Probably not. No, I was worried about the vlog, getting it all done. Not worried about the set. The set will come to me. And of course, you're on deck, and I'm pacing like I usually do. And it was, I gave up too. And it's like I can't even play this silence because of the music for copyright issues. But that was garbage. I hated it. The vlog was a lot of fun. Hanging out here was all cool. Everything was going good. And I had a terrible set. I felt so out of place. I couldn't get over myself. I admitted defeat so hard. I'm very defeated about it. Well. Oh. Well. Ugh. I'm gonna think about this one, unfortunately. I shouldn't. You have to let it go. Move on. But that's it. Thank you so much for clicking. Thank you for liking. I'm such a freaking so stuck in my head. I get stuck in my head so much. I am so good at it. I'm trying to convince myself that I'm like, yeah, it's because I read a lot, right? Reading is good for your brain, so you can get brain power. And it just makes you get stuck in your head too much and think. And all week, I've been stuck in my head thinking way too much. And I'm trying to end this video here. I'm trying to do it. Thanks for clicking. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. Please leave comments. Follow me on Instagram. Link down below. We'll see you at the next one. One love. I failed that so hard.